Fear and greed run through the wire. Candles climb and then expire. Our edges cut from the profile, sharp and clean by every buyer. He conquers the markets, he turns water into wine. His timing flows where chaos turns divine. Cut sharp enough to time the sign. Yeah, this man's no common trader. He commands the market's numbers. We call him Chef Bailey. The market bends beneath his flame. Fear and greed run through the wire. Candles climb and then expire. Our edges cut from the profile, sharp and clean by every buyer. Markets move, they twist and swing. Every tick can burn or bring. Ryan keeps calm, he trusts his thing. The charts tell him everything. But when T1 makes ding, 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 the futures spread their hidden wing. And he is ready for anything. Vic's still looking like a restless king.
Ready to stop guessing and start growing as a trader? Welcome to Vici Trading Solutions, a community built by real traders for serious learners. We don't just post trades, we teach the why behind every move. With a full education section and daily breakdowns, you'll start seeing the market like a pro. You won't be trading alone. Inside the Vici Discord, you're surrounded by committed traders, from futures pros to rising crypto specialists, all learning and winning together. Gain first access to our exclusive indicators, powerful tools used daily by hundreds across TradingView and beyond. These aren't gimmicks, they're built to sharpen your edge. Each morning, our founder posts a full trading plan for the S&P 500 or NASDAQ and calls out the levels he's watching live. No fluff, just clarity. Education, tools, community. Whether you trade futures, stock, or crypto, Vici gives you the foundation and firepower to grow. Join Vici, trade smarter, conquer the markets.
Hey, welcome back. Hello. It is Thursday. We had an amazing day today. The S&P did exactly what we were expecting, and I am so happy that you guys were all able to show up so we can talk about how everything played and what to look for tomorrow. So that being said, I wanted to just say real quick, I don't know if people on Substack are actually getting this stream. If you are, I can't tell on my side, so I can't see the feed or tell who's joined. So just as a heads up there. So everyone else, appreciate you showing up. And let's get right into it. So as usual, guys, don't forget, you got to follow me across all the socials. If you have not, let me get this thing pulled up here. Boom. All right. Follow me across YouTube, X, Substack, and TradingView. Got some good indicators on TradingView for people who are intraday traders. Definitely get on there, check them out. They're worth having for sure. So follow me across all these socials and spread the word. Let everybody know what's up. I think this is some good stuff. And when I show you exactly what played today, you will certainly agree. And I've got something special actually today planned for us. I did a little math, something I'm personally doing just for the room. And I wanted to show you guys something pretty amazing that I think if you've been trading the trade plans and you've been following along, I think you're going to look at this and say, I know I can do that. So we're going to get into that as soon as we get done talking about what happened today. So let's get right into the market context as usual. Just kind of give a feel of what we're going to be looking at and how this essentially broke down the day and right from the jump and how we should have been looking at the market. So yesterday we lost the move to the high on the 4-hour time frame. And in doing so, dealers also started hedging short. So we actually woke up this morning and doing exactly as we planned yesterday in the post-market breakdown, we talked about how they lost in the 4-hour and more than likely they would slide into the major 42 daily. And that is exactly where we woke up to. So we woke up into negative gamma. 42 was our barometer here, people. You guys know we've been talking about this for quite some time. Then, of course, my favorite buy is still the leg end all the way at the lows, which you didn't get there. But we knew that we lost the 4-hour time frame yesterday. We shift below the 69.74 pivot and took us down to the 42. All good. So, the negative gamma, I wanted to point that out to everybody because I told you that money can be made both ways. When we get into this type of situation, we have dealers hedging short, we have people buying long. And so we get a really nice rotation in negative gamma with a downside lean. So that's why I wanted to point this out to everybody today. I think it was important because the big area that I was looking to short actually played up. And we talked about this spot yesterday too. So let's see what else we got. Let me pop this open. I have a lot here today. So I think let's just start with this. I'm pretty sure this counts. This is the 42 daily. We talked about this 100 times. Again, right, the very first thing, we're open and close to this. This could hold temporarily. Well, I think this counts. This was actually the low of the day today. This was the retest and sent us up. And it was perfect. So, I was looking for the shorts. People who were long got paid. People who were short got paid. So this was a beautiful setup. We held the lows. And so it was no surprise when we talked about this yesterday that it was very plausible for this to happen. One of the things that I wanted to point out about this pop here, and we'll get into it real soon, is in the beginning, pre-open, I always give my levels for SPX, okay? Always. It's always in the trade plan. It's there for everybody because I personally watch it right to the right side of me. I have ES to the left. I mean, this thing is the OG, right? So we're trading the index, right? But we're actually making money off the futures, or at least some of us are. Some of us are trading SPX. I trade the futures, right? So, but I always include this because this is very important. And right up here, the resistance was 69.29.94, and the daily is 69.36, right? Let's remember that. And then, of course, we said if we're under here, it brings us down into 69.02, right? And this was a big indication that this was going to hold in my book. And I knew this lined up with the 42, which was one of the reasons why I said I think this can hold down here. And this was a daily and an untested 4-hour. So this was a big spot here. But obviously below that, it pushed lower, but right into this area here, we had it marked for everybody. And then I will show you exactly what this looked like after the fact. And then we'll get back to ES. But this is our spot right here. I mean, it played absolutely perfect, took us all the way up to the weekly at 69.29 and faded, which is exactly the next thing we're going to talk about on ES as well. Except for, I want to take a pit stop real quick. I was thinking about this today. We always talk about the levels, right? We never really talk about the options. And I, sometimes I'll throw it out there like, hey, played an options level or whatever. But, this was a perfect example today. And I talked about how there was a lot of options levels because the dealers were scrambling. Well, this was our very first call wall, 69.66. Right here, as you can see pointed out, they played this thing 1, 2, 3 times and was essentially the high for a long time this afternoon. I mean, pretty much the whole afternoon, right? And so, after that, I mean, it eventually did break this, but it was a bitch getting the job done. And then, that was, yeah. And then, yeah. And then, so the next play actually, which is what I was getting into right now. Did I not include this in here? Oh, that's tragic. Actually, I'm going to have to pull up my 4-hour here. Or I'm sorry, my Discord here. Let's see. And I actually should show you guys a little bit what the Discord room looks like. But we actually had this amazing shout out. It was the short from the 74 area, which is directly inside the title of today's publication, right? So here we go. Come on. This is a long thread here. Here we go. All right. So we had the fat resistance here. 69.74. This was my big main area to short. I wanted to short this spot yesterday in the post-market breakdown. And obviously today, we never hit it last night. So this was my spot, right? The 74.75. If price plays this level, we want to see it get back underneath the overnight high. And that is the 1 hour at 69.69. 69 resistance before continuation lower. But, this was perfect. We came right up. We played 73. So if you front ran it by 6 ticks. So it was close. It was super duper close. I mean, it's close enough in my book. But the real actionable setup, as you guys saw, was the move below the 69.69, which was the choice move all the way down to 48. So a real solid 20 points here. This was a great trade. So we knew the long was going to be support. We had SPX to back us up. We also had the short from the highs, which was super sweet. Now, the other thing that really came into play, and I'll show you this as well, here is VIX. VIX was very much elevated this morning. Okay, we were way above our daily here. As you can see, I'm going to show you another picture after it was formed, but this is the picture that I included this morning when we did the outlook, and it was sitting on top of this daily elevated, and it could have either went up or down. Now, obviously we know that it went down today, but this was our big pivot today, right? So right here, this 1573 pivot, we're sitting above it. We need to come back below this for relief. The relief we wanted to push back towards the 1573 daily. Right. So here we go. Here is what it looked like after. And this was a big indication for us. I mean, this is where we were at the open, right? As you can see, 9:15 in the morning. And then they just got back underneath it, which gave us, obviously the idea that we were going to have that support hold from 42. But the fact that we were still above 1493 and we were starting to pump back up towards this daily gave that short the extra little oomph it needed to come off of that 74 area, 73 area, something real sweet. So today's trade plan was awesome. I mean, to be honest, I am shocked myself a lot of times. I mean, we call these levels days, weeks in advance, and they play so good. It's crazy. And that's one of the things that I want to parlay into. Okay. So I had 2 or 3 people reach out to me. It was like, Ryan, we love your stuff. The real question is can I fit this into a prop firm curve, right? And the answer is absolutely. I mean, that is one of the key things about this system, especially with the futures, because it's not even especially with the futures. My process is really good. Now, there's 100 ways to skin the cat in this market. There's all kinds of different ways to make money trading. I mean, the process is really 20% of it. The rest of it's 80% emotional. It really is just keeping yourself in check. And that's where this kind of comes into play, right? So you guys see these levels, they work every day, day after day. They play almost to the tick all the time. Sometimes we get very little heat. Sometimes it's perfect touch. I mean, when you're wrong, you know it pretty fast. But the majority, as you guys know, I run through these trade plans on a daily basis. It's usually the first, second, third one that's busting off. It's playing. It's like awesome. Okay. So here's the real science behind it. And this is one of the things I wanted to show you, because this is my answer to those 3 or 4 people that reached out to me regarding the prop firm curve, right? So check this out. This is real math, guys. A friend of mine, Davey, has got me on this path right now, and I'm actually, this is something good. So I like this. This is absolutely fantastic. So, we're always chasing the larger move. Everybody wants the big move, right? Like, oh, they see, some of these traders, they hold them forever, right? But, listen, these guys are home runs. This is day in, day out. Super, I don't want to say easy because nothing's easy, but it's actionable, right? And with the trade plans, it makes perfect sense. So I write these trade plans for myself, and I share them with you guys. If the levels are in the trade plans, I'm taking it, because as you see, it plays really well. And when I'm done with the end of the month doing exactly what I'm here to show you, the win rate, it's going to be insane. So check how this works. In 5-point stops, 10-point targets. You hear me? That's it. That's all you need, because these levels play so good. You don't really need more than 5 points. Now, the other thing is the 10-point target. As you guys know, these levels play, and they always play very well. Sometimes they play for 10 points. Sometimes they play for 50, right? We don't know. But the average rotation on the ES, check this out. Pull this over. Okay, the average rotation for the ES right now in RTH and in the evening session is let's see here, 14 points. Wow, it's come up quite a bit. It's actually been way less than that. It was actually 9 earlier. This is just the 5-day rotation here. So it just calculated. So if you can squeeze between, my math is based on 10 points. That actually surprised me that was that high right there. That caught me off guard. I expected it to say 10 points. It's where it's been at for days. So anyways, long story short, if you can squeeze 10 points out of every rotation, do you need to catch 30? And here's why. right? 65% of the time you make 500 bucks, 35% of the time you lose 250, right? You only need a 33% chance at to break even on your money, right? 33% win rate to break even. Insane. That's a massive edge. So at 65%, we have a massive edge. I bet you anybody here can take this trade plan. If they follow this and exact play only the 4-hour and daily levels, untested. I bet you this is the outcome right here, because we see these levels play all the time. And even for your own strategy, this is something that anybody should be cognizant of, right? So we're talking on one contract, and in 30 days, you're talking about $9,000, right? That's $10,000 a month on one contract, 20 on two. It's pretty impressive money. And the max drawdown is really not that serious, right? So here's the losing streaks, right? If you lost 6 in a row, you're talking 1,500 bucks. So the real question is this strategy prop firm curve fit? Absolutely. Like, this is working right now. We are doing this every single day. And this is absolutely something everybody should be doing. I mean, it's insane. I really was looking at this math and I couldn't believe it, because we see these trades play out time after time after time for these kind of points. So anyways, I just wanted to share this to everybody's attention. This kind of blew everybody's face away when I showed everybody in the room, just because we see that we give back 10 points on runners all the time. Like, it's amazing that if you just do the math on the win rate, like, it's mind blowing to me. So I just want to kind of salute everybody in the room too, kind of throw everybody out here, give everybody props here. So we've had an absolute banger day in the room. I told everybody that after everybody posted today, I was really, really happy. Everybody does really good in here. I'm so happy. So Sco, as usual, Chart Surfer, he's awesome too. Look at this guy just banging it out. Small money adds up for real. He's probably trading one micro, getting it done. But, my boy Zook, again, with the funded, nice money, Zook. That's what's up. Look at Shees. $16,000, $15,000, something like that. These are 3 funded accounts. This guy's an absolute monster. He trades in queue and just ridiculous size on the tick chart. I mean, that's, God bless him. It's the same strategy because it works on every time frame, but God bless him. I mean, I give him that. He's a monster. And then, so then my boy, Bryce is a new course holder and he subscribes to the Substack. Bryce is coming up. I just included him in a post not too long ago, a couple of days ago. And there I am. I missed the day. I've been on calls all day, and I actually missed the short from the top. These guys all obviously partook and stuff, but yeah. So anyways, great day. Really happy with everybody from the room. So kudos and congratulations to everybody who did really well. It was fun. It was fun looking over everything and really just seeing how this stuff plays out. And I wanted to share it with everybody because it's super powerful stuff. So this is one of the reasons why we use SPX as well. This is why I always include this in the trade plans. You guys should be having this data up. It's important. If you're really truly taking the ES serious, like I do, I want every possible data point, right? But I don't want to be too clustered with information, but this really is super important for us. And I feel like options levels are also important, but this is just good stuff. I mean, think about this, what I just showed you. What happens when you scale up to 10 cars, right? You have $2,500 loss, and you have $5,000 gains. I mean, you're having, and you can spot these, pinpoint levels where you don't take a lot of heat, and you're like, I can totally get 10 points out of this and that. Like, yeah. So 10 points it up. Anyways. All right. So now let's talk about what we think is going to happen for the day or for tomorrow, because it's actually, I was looking at it and we're really at a pivotal spot. They actually rallied right after the close into this right into our big spot here at 69.78. That was in the trade plan as well. So I'm looking at the daily, and I got it pulled up, and we did not lose. Obviously, this is just a nice little pullback. 42 was tested to me, but again, like I said, I could make an argument, and we have a lot of commentary in the room, but I can make an argument this is untested, right? So for SPX, now this weekly was massive hit right here, but we didn't lose on the weekly. We didn't lose on the daily. So this might be good enough to send us up. It's really going to come down to this spot right here on SPX, which is the 69 29 area, and this daily too. This daily, actually, let me rephrase that, 36. So I know we're right here, but this is that leg down. So this could go here. Let me pull up my pen. We're either going to move up from 36 or we stay below 29, 36, and we continue to move down to this leg. But we might actually pop first and then smack. It's hard to say. They squeezed at the end of the day, but they didn't. Again, like I said, they lost on the 4 hour. But it's weird. So hear me out. The 4 hour held on SPX because it's only RTH, and they just didn't lose at all on any time frame. So it leads me to believe I'm a little. I don't want to say confused, but what I have right now is this spot here that's untested, and basically 29, which is tested. But as long as we stay below this, we should come down to these areas and more than likely down into either this lower part right here, 40 or 58. This is the weekly, and this is the leg down here. So that's our two spots on SPX that I'm really eyeing. And we squeezed in the day. Now, as you can see, we're here at 71, which is much higher than our close. But what I wanted to say is will they hold this? I don't really know, but where our major resistance is on ES is right here at 83. You can say 89, and I'll be like, I could go with that. I marked it because it is truly, but this is the leg down here at 83. This is where I would be really, really looking hard. And I'll show you exactly what that looks like right here. So this is 83.50. This is really our decision point here, in my opinion. It's like this. And they squeezed right up and played the 78 here. So we either push up and pull back, and when they do, they're going to come all the way down to at least here, or we basically hold above here and really 89. This is the 4 hour at 97, but I'm not even really tripping on that thing once we're over 74. I'll just be honest with you. If we have a nice solid 4 hour close above all this, yeah, once we just get up here, if we had a solid 4 hour close, we're moving up, so I'm not really overly worried about 97, but we either fall or we continue to push up right here. This is make it or break it. So it's interesting because the data is a little different, I guess. I would say SPX is really, really, really pointing up. And right now, for me, this support was tested. And so, and this is untested. So for me right now, based on my process, I can totally see this happening, right? But SPX doesn't give that perception. Like I said, it has this other daily to deal with over here, but we've still held completely. So I'm just going to watch this spot, I guess is all I'm saying. They're both dailies. It's a lot of confluence. If we start to give it up and get back underneath 74, if we end up pushing up into here, the deal. So that's basically it. I mean, that's what's cooking for ES, in my opinion. And then, we'll see what happens coming up the rest of this week. Tomorrow's Friday. And so I will not be here tomorrow for the post-market breakdown, but I will absolutely make sure that everybody gets their trade plan first thing in the morning at 8:30. And so looking forward to getting that out and actually finishing the week super strong. I just absolutely having a great 2026 so far. I know it's only started, but I feel like the momentum's really moving forward. So anyways, if you guys have not subscribed to the trade plan so far, please use the link in the post below. Get you 30 days free of the trade plans. You can check them out. Easily make your money in that first little 30 days. So anywho, I will see you guys later. And tomorrow is the name of the game. Cheers and have a good one.